Hello and welcome to the abridged version of Nationwide on the Network Service of the NTA. I am Norlene Ebel-Ame with the news. We begin from the Red Chamber, where the Senate has applauded President Muhammadu Buhari for assenting to the 16 constitution alteration bills, describing it as one of the major achievements of the 9th National Assembly. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports as Senate reconvenes after election break.
Senators are back to the chamber after the rescheduled governorship and state houses of assembly elections. President of the Senate Ahmed Lawal welcomed his colleagues and commended President Muhammadu Buhari for assenting to 16 constitutional alteration bills.
With the financial independence of state houses of assembly and state judiciary are very, very critical for the development of democracy in Nigeria. In fact, for good governance as well.
He explained that the National Assembly will constitute a committee that will liaise with the executive to find out why 19 other constitution amendment bills did not receive presidential assent.
Maybe there are a few explanations that could be made, and then they will be okay. And we will do that almost immediately because time is of essence. We shouldn't think that the time is too tight. I think even if it is one day that we have left, we should do our best. Where the issues are too much to handle, I think the next assembly, the 10th National Assembly, should be able to attend to such issues.
Senate received presidential requests for the confirmation of 7 nominees for appointment as members of the governing board of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, with Abdul Karim Mobalaji as chairman. The National Human Rights Commission Act Repeal and Reenactment Bill, Nigerian Building and Roads Research Institute Bill, the Federal Medical Center Uli Anambra State Establishment Bill, and the Orthopedic Hospital Ihitu Boma Establishment Bill were passed. The Chief Whip of the Senate, Oji Uzo Kalu, has described the Electoral Act 2022 as a work in progress. He was speaking when he briefed Senate correspondents on the just concluded general elections across the country.
What I would like to see with my colleagues is for us to go for electronic voting, so that where people like in India, it might not be automatic by electricity, it might be manual. You just punch the button, so nobody is doing anything with paperwork.
The Senate Chief Whip also urged the ruling All Progressives Congress to zone the position of the President of the Senate to the southeast. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nko, NTA News.
Similarly, the House of Representatives says the amendment to the Electoral Act by the 9th National Assembly, especially provisions on the use of technology, have been instrumental in improving Nigeria's electoral process. Reconvening plenary after the governorship and states assembly elections, House members were emphatic that an objective assessment of the 2023 general elections shows remarkable improvement compared to previous outings. House Speaker Femi Bajabiamila notes that the process might not have been perfect, but that fair play is among acknowledgements that cannot be taken away from the entire process.
And the deliberate efforts of political, religious, and social and economic leaders acting in recognition of the fact that while elections will come and go, our highest imperative remains the progress of Nigeria and the prosperity of her people.
House members commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, security agencies and other key players for the commitment to ensure free and fair elections across the country. The House also resolves to prioritize empowerment of women and other marginalized groups, just as it promises to conclude work on the bill to establish National Commission for Electoral Offences. This is to ensure enforcement of law against those that undermine the Constitution and threaten the nation's democracy. In the meantime, President-elect Bola Tinubu says after Nigerian electorate have voted to elect their governors and state legislators that will serve them for the next 4 years, attention must now be directed towards proper leadership and governance. In a statement, the president-elect says, as the elected, the only way to justify the trust and confidence of the people and the mandate entrusted in them is to commit to the service of the people. He also expresses readiness to work with all the elected state governors as president, promising to be a worthy partner they can trust and rely on, as well as bond together in unity of purpose and renewed hope for the betterment of the country and the people. The president-elect, however, expresses sadness over the reported isolated infractions during the elections and its aftermath in some states, saying the report of arson after the announcement of governorship results in one state did not represent who Nigerians truly are as peace-loving people. President-elect commended President Muhammadu Buhari, INEC, security agencies, observer groups, civil society organizations, development partners, and the electorate for the success of the elections, which he said is pivotal to the growth and sustenance of democracy and democratic governance. Elsewhere, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has dissociated himself from a fake Twitter account being used to spread fake news and pass negative comments on the Adamawa and Zamfara governorship elections. Director of Information, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Willie Bassi, in a statement says, Boss Mustafa's attention has been drawn to a fake Twitter handle bearing his name, which is being used to make unsavory comments on the governorship candidates of APC in Adamawa and Zamfara states. The SGF wishes to state categorically that he does not own or operate any Twitter handle by such username and therefore calls on Nigerians to disregard negative comments made with such username on Twitter against the persons of the governor of Zamfara State and the governorship candidate of APC in Adamawa State. He finds it mischievous for any person to attach his name to a fake user account. The SGF therefore cautions Twitter users to always endeavor to verify Twitter handles before responding to the post of any sort. Now to reactions. Residents of Kaduna State have continued to express satisfaction in different ways over the victory of the APC governorship candidate, Senator Ubasani. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
Members of the All Progressive Congress Party in Kaduna State converged here to Umaru Musa Erado Hall as all eyes turned of the result of the state governorship election. As soon as the INEC returning officer declared their candidate Senator Ubasani as the winner, celebrations began with party members chanting victory songs. After controlling the jubilating crowd, the governor-elect delivered his acceptance speech.
It is in the nature of democratic contestation that they are concluded with the declaration of one candidate as the winner. But we are all winners. I note the energetic campaigns of fellow contestants and call on them to continue to make their contribution to Kaduna State.
Then thousands of supporters hit the streets to continue with the celebration. Some of the supporters walked to the government house, expressing satisfaction with the victory of Ubasani as the governor-elect of Kaduna State.
With determination and zeal, we will be able to make it, and we have made it.
It's a hugely contested election and we won, alhamdulillah. I'm so happy.
So we are so happy, we are so excited, and it's going to be an all-inclusive government.
The supporters say they can now go back home and sleep, as their mandate is in a trusted hand. In Kaduna, Muhammad Umarajingi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, following his victory at the governorship polls in Nasarawa State, Governor Abdullahi Sule has continued to receive well-wishers, including National Chairman of APC, on congratulatory visit. Aliu Tijani reports.
Moments of joy and merriment, laughter, and handshake of a job well done as party agent at the State Coalition Center present result of the governorship election to Governor Abdullahi Sule, who wins the election. While celebration continues, stakeholders are trooping to Government House to rejoice with the governor. Among early callers on congratulatory visit to Governor Abdullahi Sule are the National Chairman of APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, former governor of the state, Senator Umaru Tanko Almakura, and the state APC chairman, among others. A keenly contested election, though, but the victory, they say, is for the entire people of the state, irrespective of party affiliation. They urge Governor Sule to be magnanimous in victory and work for the overall development of the state.
We have supported the governor to have a second term. We must stand up to support him every inch of the journey for these coming 4 years.
For the governor, the trust bestowed on him by the people of the state will not be taken for granted, as he promised to extend hands of friendship to all contestants.
I call on them to come and partner with us if indeed what they are interested in the development of the state. We are more than happy and willing to buy in some more ideas for the development of the state.
He appreciates the people of the state for being peaceful during the election, urging them to also celebrate peacefully and not to harass or intimidate opponents. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
In another news, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has asked Muslims to look for the new moon of Ramadan 1444 after Hijrah on Wednesday, 22nd of March 2023. A statement signed by the Chairman Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council, Sokoto, Professor Sambuweli Junaidu, says Wednesday, 22nd is equivalent to the 29th of Shaban, 1444 after Hijrah, and a day to look for the new moon. The statement requests the sighting of the new moon to be reported to the nearest district or village head for onward communication to the Sultan through the following numbers: 080-371-57100 or 070-674-16900. Time to join Adeola in our Lagos Network Center for more reports on Nationwide. Good evening, Adeola. Nationwide. Good evening, Adeola. Nationwide.
Good evening, Nolan. With the elections over, Lagos residents say there are areas the new governor-elect must focus on for the benefit of the people and growth of democracy. Amaka Owo has details.
Meeting the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
After the announcement of Babajide Sanwo-Olu as governor-elect of Lagos State, the mood of the city has been calm and peaceful. Residents are going about their lawful businesses and the roads are devoid of the usual traffic congestion Lagos is noted for. Residents highlight possible areas of focus for the government in the coming years.
Personally, what I want the governor to do is to create more job opportunity for the citizens of Lagos State, to also work equally on more security so that we can be at the safer side.
One of the challenges that has been prevalent is traffic congestion. What I look forward to them doing is to put some
infrastructure in some certain areas. At every point, you see young men running in between vehicles, chasing buses, and they don't mind jumping in front of your vehicle. They don't mind stopping vehicles. So I think they need to sanitize Lagos to that extent. Those people need to get off the road.
There should be an element of improvement in the well-being of the people.
Inclusiveness in the sense of equality. Male, female, different tribes in Lagos, treat everybody equally.
Lagosians are optimistic that the current tranquility being experienced in the state will be sustained. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Let's now focus on the environment. In the face of increasing and unsustainable human demand and use of forests, including resources that provide, there is need for continuous reforestation and afforestation initiatives by the government and everyone. Environmentalists are emphasizing this as Nigeria joins the global community to mark the 2023 World Forest Day. Larry Belay has details.
Life on Earth is basically nothing without forests, and they sustain lives in several ways. Forest ecosystem also plays a crucial role in man's survival, especially with the growing threats of climate change. Services forests provide include purification of the water, cleansing of the air, mopping up of carbon in the atmosphere to check global warming, and provision of food, among other benefits. The reason why the United Nations decided to set a day aside to mark the World Forest Day is to create awareness on the importance of the thick set of the green lush of the forest, the boughs of the trees and flowers that are homes to different kinds of species crawling or scampering about. And apart from that, right now is one of the most crucial protection for climate change. Threats of expanding agriculture to feed a growing population and unsustainable logging has become a danger to forest conservation and sustenance in Nigeria. How can we maintain a balance between demands from the forest and its preservation?
There is still a way to do that in a harmonious manner. Yes, there are certain fast-growing species of trees which can be used specifically for furniture. These should be encouraged, and they should only be harvested when they are mature, and at the same time other ones are coming on. So we can get wood furniture if we really, really require it from a sustained forest situation.
Environmentalists believe that sustaining and growing forest cover requires proactive efforts and constant mobilization of human and material resources towards tactical and aggressive afforestation. The theme of the day, Forest and Health, underlines the importance of forests to man's livelihood and protection of the earth. In Lagos, Larry Belay, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. The nationwide news will continue with a smile in Sokoto when we return from this break. To stay.
Good evening and thank you for joining us here in Sokoto on Nationwide. Sokoto State Governor-elect Ahmad Ali Sokoto has commended women and youths for their massive support that led to his victory. He made the commendation while addressing supporters at the residence of Senator Aliyu Magat Kardawamoko, who came to show their solidarity. Aliyu Muhammad Kawai has the details.
These are teaming supporters of APC who are celebrating the victory of Ahmad Ali Sokoto, who has been declared the winner in the just concluded governorship election in Sokoto State. The governor-elect commended the steadfastness and resilience of the youth and women who did not relent until the victory was assured. He said he is aware of all his campaign promises and therefore promised to fulfill them and urged the people of the state to pray for the actualization of manifestos. On celebration of his victory, Ahmad Aliyu urged APC supporters to behave well and act within the ambit of the law. Senator Aliyu Magatakarda expressed his profound gratitude to the people of Sokoto State for their patience and promised to do everything possible to allay the sufferings of the common man. Celebration of Ahmad Ali's victory on various streets in Sokoto metropolis continued. In Sokoto, Ali Muhammad Kawai, NTA News.
Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar has congratulated the Sokoto State Governor-elect Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto on his victory at the Governorship and State of Assembly elections. A high-powered delegation led by the Wazir in Sokoto, Professor Wali Junaidu, represented the Sultan during the visit at the residence of Senator Aliyu Magatakarda Wamoko. The report.
Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar, who described the election in Sokoto State as violence-free, reiterated the Sultanate Council's commitment to collaborate with the new governor for the development of the state. He described the victory of Ahmad Aliyu as the will of Allah and prayed Allah to guide him for the betterment of all. While acknowledging the Sultan's congratulatory message, the governor-elect described him as father to all for his non-partisan relationship with all political parties. Ahmed Aliyu therefore promised to carry everyone along for the actualization of the 9-point agenda. The delegation was received by the APC leader in the state, Senator Aliyu Magatakarda Wamoko, along other party chieftains. In Sokoto, Alhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And a quick reminder that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and all other social media handles displayed on your screens for updates. We'll now be back to Abuja, where Nolin is standing by with the continuation of the news.
Thank you very much, Asmao. The Commissioner of Police in Ogun State, CP Frank Mba, says perpetrators of electoral crimes during the just concluded polls will be prosecuted. CP Mba gave the assurance after monitoring the governorship and state House of Assembly elections across Ogun State.
The monitoring team that comprised security agencies including EFCC, DSS, NDLA, traversed Ogun Central and Ogun East and Central districts, apprehending troublemakers and perpetrators of electoral crimes. The CP, who acknowledged that there were pockets of gunshots in some flash points at Igbore in Abeokuta, Iperu Remo and Shagamu, noted that the situation had been brought under control and some people arrested.
The truth is that arrests have been made, but again, we would want you people to give us a chance to actually get to the point where we'll speak about arrest. No matter how watertight your security is, people will try to breach the security measures, the security walls you build. But your job is to constantly continue to reinforce your security cordon, constantly reassess them and react appropriately.
He further debunked the allegations that ballot boxes were snatched at gunpoint in Ayigbami Ward 3 polling units in Iperu Remo.
We're just coming out from there, and they told me clearly that no ballot box was snatched, and that was quite reassuring. And that's why I told them that we're leaving policemen on ground, and they should be calm. If ballot boxes were snatched here, the tension would have been higher than this. They wouldn't have listened to us.
The police boss attributed the successes recorded at the polls to the effective synergy and collaboration among security agencies in Ogun State.
Let's now join Mina in our Enugu Network Center for more reports from that axis. Hi, Mina.
Good evening and thanks for joining us here in Enugu. As 28 states prepare for the change of administration, Enugu residents have continued to set agenda and create blueprints for the incoming government in Enugu State. Eukaria Ugu has the report.
Enugu, on the hill, popularly called the Cold City, was the first capital of Eastern region in today's southeastern South-South states. It later became the capital of old Anambra State and then later Enugu State in 1991. Under the soil of Enugu is
the Enugu State residents of the state have set an agenda and a roadmap for the incoming government.
Look at the environment. The environment is terrible. Water is no longer running. So whoever that is coming as the next governor of Enugu State, please put those things in order again.
We need somebody again who can come and develop the airport, make things better, and housing must be done without discrimination.
To be the governor of Enugu State should hands up the money of local government, should allow local government to effectively.
They further stated that for any elected leader to reposition the state to the path of economic growth, he must revamp the moribund industries scattered all over the state, which used to build the mainstay of the state IGR, and have offered employment opportunities for the youths. These include Avop Natch, Niger Steel Company, Sunrise Flour Mill, and Niger Gas, as well as coal mine. They also emphasized the need to complete the abandoned projects, such as International Conference Center and the State Secretariat, for the many benefits they hold to the citizens.
Anyone coming in as governor of Enugu State should be prepared to industrialize the state.
In Enugu, Abuja, NTA News.
We apologize for that mix-up. Enugu State, especially the metropolis, is lacking one very vital infrastructure that has defied solution of 3 administrations spanning 24 years since 1999. The problem is pipe-borne water. Can the incoming administration handle this challenge? James Oparicocha is now on as he went to town to feel the pulse of the people.
Enugu on the hill, popularly called the Cold City, was the first capital of Eastern region in today's southeastern South-South states. It later became the capital of old Anambra State and then later Enugu State in 1991. Under the soil of Enugu is embedded coal, for which Enugu is known for. While this coal helped the Nigerian economy those days, it deprived the people of Enugu aquifer, or underground water, in most parts of the state. Successive governments since 1999 were not able to solve this perennial challenge. The administration of Sullivan Chime made a bold step with a comprehensive master plan to tackle the challenge headlong, and water did really flow then in some places. In all, there is no water in Enugu now, except intermittently. The people of Enugu State are tired of complaining and have resorted to begging whoever that wins the governorship election in the state this year to have pity on them and give them water. The 4 leading governorship candidates all talked about water during their campaigns across the state. With clean flowing water at Oju River and the cleanest aquifer in Nightmare, one wonders the challenge of reticulation. A retired civil servant from Oju River gives more insight to the challenge.
Oji has water that will serve the entire Enugu state. And that place is called Wonderful Water. You don't purify it. You don't need anything to refine it. You just take it as it is. Even at that Oji River, there is no tap running. There's no tap that is running around Oji River, urban.
Whichever administration that gives the people of Enugu State pipe-borne water will write his name or her name in gold and will leave footprints on the sands of time. From Enugu, James Oparicocha, NTA News.
And that's a bit from here. We'll take another break here, after which Nationwide will continue with Nolin in Abuja. Just stay with us.
The new
Welcome back to Abuja, and now to court proceedings. The Federal High Court Abuja has ordered that one Tukurmamu, an alleged negotiator for terrorists, should be remanded in the custody of Department of State Services pending the determination of his bail application. The presiding judge, Justice Ian Eko, gave the order when the defendant was arraigned this Tuesday. Olabode Arewa reports.
Tukru Mamu, an alleged publisher of a magazine, was arrested in Cairo, Egypt on September 6, 2022 and repatriated to Nigeria. He had been on the watch list of the DSS over his alleged involvement in negotiating ransom on behalf of terrorist groups and allegedly facilitating the release of kidnapped victims. He was arraigned before Justice Ian Gekwo on a 10-count charge of alleged terrorism financing. The prosecution said various sums of foreign and local currencies were recovered from his Kaduna residence as proceeds of the alleged crime. On arraignment, Tukru Mamu pleaded not guilty when the 10 counts were read to him, while his defense counsel prayed for his bail, arguing that Tukru Mamu urgently requires serious medical care. Counsel for the prosecution opposed the application, saying Nigerian hospitals were adequate to treat whatever ailment Tukru Mamu may be going through. The court thereafter adjourned to a date to be communicated to the parties for ruling on the bail application and for trial.
We have filed an application for his bail. We have argued all that matters. He's not been arraigned for capital offenses, and the law is very clear.
Tukru Mamu was arraigned under the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Still from the courtroom, the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos and Ogun State have sentenced 6 drug traffickers to a total of 156 years imprisonment for offenses bordering on drug dealing, transportation and conspiracy to transport illicit substances filed against them by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Worst hit is a 27-year-old drug dealer, Ahmed Abdul Sabur, who backed 60 years jail term following a 6-count charge against him. Let's join Gift George for trending stories in the sporting world. And that concludes Nationwide today on the network service of the NTA. Thank you for watching. Do stand with the NTA in the fight against rape and rapists. I am Nolene Evel Ame. Do have a good evening.